One of our main events is going to be, possibly actually the main event itself, Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. And there's a lot on the line for this. If Undertaker loses, not only does Shane McMahon get control of Monday Night Raw, kind of odd that they said Monday Night Raw and not just WWE, but, it just goes to show how important Raw is in comparison to the rest of the shows. If that happens, though, Undertaker is not wrestling at WrestleMania anymore, and they're still being a little bit vague about this. Whether or not it means that he's fully retired, or that he just doesn't wrestle at WrestleMania, or that it's just Vince McMahon going, I don't know if I would let you. So, whatever the case may be, the story being told here is basically Shane McMahon going up against someone who's more than likely going to win in most scenarios, but everybody is kind of leaning towards that Shane McMahon thing because WWE has this tendency, if you set something up, you tend to go with it. I don't know so much about how this is going to go down, and I'm nervous. I'm thinking that this is going to be one of those overbooked kind of things, but very curious to see what you guys have to say about this. Peyton, I'm going to start off with you, because I don't know where your mind is with this. And
It better be an overbooked thing. Are you kidding? What, do you think these guys going to just go out there and have a standard fight? No, this needs to have every bell and whistle that they can pull, because that's what they've done to build up to it. You bring back Shane McMahon, put him against The Undertaker, the man most synonymous with having a big important match at WrestleMania. Put them inside Hell in a Cell. Put control of the company at stake of this. So if you're going to do that, you got to go all in with this match too, especially if this is going to be Undertaker's last match. Dude, I want lightning bolts. I want smoke. I want fire extinguishers. I want burning tables.
This might be the one time that it's okay to bring Russo back.
Burning chairs. What?
Yeah, and most importantly, this match should have a swerve.
So what kind of swerve are you either hoping or expecting?
I don't know. I can't see it coming. It's a swerve.
A swerve. It's a swerve. Got that random ass accent for that one. It's a swerve.
Oh, and I can't forget, we got to have Main Street Posse. We got to have Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe getting involved.
A lot of people are expecting Bullet Club. I don't think that's happening whatsoever.
It's possible. I mean, we could also see the Wyatt family get involved with this. There are so many facets to this.
I'm going to throw something out here. I don't think this has any chance of happening. If we're going over under, I don't even think this is over 5% of happening. But what if, theoretically speaking, we get Shane McMahon partnering up with Finn Balor, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows, and it's a Finn Balor heel turn to set up that Shinsuke Nakamura and Hideo Itami, whenever he comes back, and Austin Aries and Apollo Crews, all baby faces that could be in the main event. We don't have a whole lot of heels in NXT, but a heel turn for Finn Balor. That could be something where The Undertaker has that match, he loses it from that and kind of puts over somebody like a Finn Balor as like the next Undertaker kind of. A lot of people thinking Bray Wyatt's going to get involved here. Some people thinking The Rock's going to get involved. I mean, we know if there's anybody that's going to get involved, number one, it's going to be Vince. That's a guarantee. But we have a lot of different varieties of options here. Wago, is there anything standing out to you as something that you think is going to happen?
I think it's just going to be overbooked mess that causes Taker to lose. I don't know what they can do, really. And that's part of the excitement. This is the most unpredictable match on the card.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I would say it's the most unpredictable, but it's one of the most. I mean, I'm kind of like leaning either way when it comes to Kalisto and Ryback, but I don't know how this is going to end, and that's part of
Okay, you can guess the options of what they'll end Kalisto and Ryback with.
That's true.
The options for this are endless.
Yeah, this could be fucking crazy. Is there anything that you think is like a guarantee, Sean?
It's going to end in a draw.
So if it does end in a draw, would you guys be upset about that?
Nope.
How would you end in a draw? Like, would you have both the guys fall off the cell into like a burning pit?
Something like that, yeah. Or both of them have to get stretched out or something.
Double pin, maybe? Like, they're both, like, they kind of knock each other out. Both of them have, like, an arm on the other one.
I think if there's a double pin, they'd restart the match.
Yeah, it's too much at stake here just to do that.
If it weren't WrestleMania, I could think a draw would be more likely. But you need some finality.
Well, not even necessarily finality, but you need something that's going to be
Crowd pleasing.
Actually, I think you don't want finality here. We need something that's going to spike a big new story out of this. That's what we need. This should be the end of the first chapter.
Well, does anybody actually think Undertaker's done after this?
I do not know.
There is a lot of evidence to suggest that he is. Increased schedule, a dedication to him at Survivor Series.
Dallas.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. So, yeah, there's a lot of ways.
Streak's already done.
Yep.
Yeah. Apparently he and Shane are real close. So it might be like, well, if somebody's going to retire me, Shane McMahon's not a bad option, but I got to assume
that'd be his
that
first option.
Because we still got that Undertaker John Cena match, and we got a
Some
couple other
matches
options.
just don't happen, man. You know, like we never got Shawn Michaels and The Rock.
Yeah, that's true. We never got Sting Undertaker.
We never
was
got
mistake.
Hogan Austin.
Okay, the thing about Sting and Undertaker, you watched for the entrances, the match would have been shit.
Well, you never know. But even just the build-up of that, of like, we're finally getting it, would have been kind of cool.
Sting's had one good match, and they had to bring the entire NWO and DX into it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
You gotta admit, that was pretty fucking cool. Drew, what's going on with this? You said before you don't have a clue exactly what is going to end up happening, but that's part of the intrigue of it. Are you leaning towards like a preference? Do you want Shane to beat Undertaker and for him to retire? Or do you want Taker to just eliminate the option of Shane in control?
The idea of Shane in control would be interesting, but they'd probably fuck that up in some. And really, I'm not a big fan of like powers in charge of, anyways, general managers and all this stuff. It's kind of been played out now. So I wouldn't be upset if Shane was in charge of Raw, but at the same time, it's good. They're gonna screw it up in like a month. Everyone's gonna hate it because we're wrestling fans and we hate everything almost as quick as we love it. So if I had a choice, I'd rather have Undertaker win and he wrestles for the rest of his life until I die. But let's face it, that's not gonna happen because I'm not gonna die tomorrow, most likely.
I don't know.
I just had a thought process go through my head here. So I'm reading through how WWE words things about this on their website, and what it says here is, per stipulation revealed by Chairman Mr. McMahon, The Undertaker will also be barred from competing at WrestleMania ever again if he loses.
So they're not actually going
That's
full
very
on
specific.
retirement.
No, that's very specific, just saying barred from competing at WrestleMania. So, I mean, if he loses, he could just, compete elsewhere. Undertaker's not a guy who needs to hog the spotlight. Remember, when they did that big brand split, the original brand split, which side Undertaker chose to go on?
You know what, too? This is kind of shitty for them to do, but it's not the weirdest thing. Shane McMahon beats Undertaker through whatever means. I mean, I'm assuming it's not going to be just he full-on, flat-out just beats him one-on-one. But Undertaker, actually, let me add a little caveat to this. Vince McMahon is clearly getting involved, and clearly Vince McMahon and Undertaker aren't seeing eye to eye. Maybe Vince McMahon pisses Undertaker off, and he throws the match. And Shane McMahon's got control. So what does he do on Monday Night Raw? He just goes, yeah, that whole thing about you being barred from WrestleMania? Nah. Because he's got control now.
I would hate for Undertaker's character to ever do that.
To throw a match?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it meant screwing over Vince McMahon and...
Yeah, because even though the streak's dead, WrestleMania is still his show, and he's very much stated that. And it's just not in his character to throw a match anyway. I wouldn't like the idea of that.
Maybe Biker Taker, but not this Taker.
Yeah, it would actually taint Undertaker for me a little bit.
That is a way for them to have their cake and eat it too, though. Shane gets control, and Undertaker doesn't get barred from WrestleMania.
They can overturn that stipulation whenever. And they will. Unless he's retiring, of course.
That is an option. But I mean, out of all the matches, this is the one where we're going back and forth. We don't know exactly what's happening here, and that's actually going to be one of the most entertaining parts of the night. Is when we start getting that promo package building up to this, we're all going to be like, "Oh fuck, what's going to happen?" So, if we have to pick here, I'm saying Shane McMahon wins. Wago.
That's an awesome opinion.
Yeah,
Cool story, bro.
Well, while he figures out what's going on in his Skype.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the call drop for a moment. I don't know what's up with my USB. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd go with Shane McMahon. And the only other random reason that I could see other than just overbooking and people screwing Taker is, what if Shane and Vince are in cahoots to get rid of Taker?
I don't think so.
No, I'm just saying that's the only other random fucking one I can come up with.
They've done weirder things. That's for sure. Shawn, Undertaker, Shane McMahon, who's got the edge? Who are you going with?
I've always said Shane O'Mac going into this, and I'm not going to change my mind now. So, sticking with Shane-O.
Peyton?
Shane O'Mac.
And Drew?
I really don't
It's
want.
not in this match.
I honestly, I really don't want to give an opinion because then I'm gonna have an expectation for this match, and this is a kind of match where I just want to sit back and watch it and enjoy it, and then whatever outcome happens.
Well,
I'll
that's
find
great and all,
reason to
Drew,
like
but
it.
this is a podcast. Give us your opinion.
I know, but even with Shawn Michaels and the streak on the line, when it was career versus streak, I really didn't want to want one or the other one just because I like both of them. I just wanted to enjoy the match. But if I'm going to choose someone, I'm going to go with Shane. But honestly, I really don't care. I'm just going to sit back and watch this and enjoy every second of it.
I think I'm more interested in what happens afterward than what happens during the match. Kind of. Like, where their end game is for all this. But I'm interested in the match too, it's not to say that. Could be
I
one
think
of
this is the most intriguing match they've had in at least 5 years.
Probably, yeah.
I think the last time would probably be the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match.
CM Punk title.
CM Punk title. Huh?
CM Punk with the title when he was going to leave with the
Against Jericho? No, I'm saying for WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's what was throwing me off. I was like, wait, for a
No,
title
I
against
was just
Jericho?
talking about when he was leaving the company. That's the only time I've seen like a match with a lot of intrigue about it.
Yeah, that
That's
might
even-
be.
Yeah.
I mean, from a billing standpoint, Cena versus Rock the first time wasn't bad, but I don't think many people really gave a shit about it for the most part.
Nobody gave a shit the second time. That's for sure.
No.
Twice in a lifetime, where it's guaranteed John Cena will win. So we have one more match to talk about, and that is coming up next in part 14. Make sure you click on that and find out what we have to say about the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.